Tonight's Monday Night Raw began with the kind of electricity that has become synonymous with WWE's flagship show. The crowd roaring, the lights blinding, and the energy so thick you could feel it through the screen. But while the audience was glued to the ring and the spectacle unfolding before them, what they didn't realize was that backstage, away from the cameras, a story was developing that could change the company forever. Reports started trickling out almost immediately from insiders and staffers who witnessed something unusual. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief himself, a man still visibly battered from his recent beatdown at the hands of Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, had quietly slipped into the building through a discreet side entrance, dressed in black and moving with purpose. Fans assumed his surprise return meant more chaos involving Seth Rollins and the continuing saga of the bloodline, but what no one expected was the true reason for his presence, because Roman wasn't there for his family or even to wage war on Rollins. He was there to meet Brock Lesnar, and this wasn't an accident. This wasn't chance. This was calculated. Eyewitnesses claim the scene was unlike anything they had ever seen. Roman walked with a limp, leaning on a cane, his aura of authority undiminished despite the clear signs of recovery, while Brock Lesnar stood in front of him, arms crossed, his eyes locked like a predator ready to pounce, radiating that unpredictable storm energy that has terrified opponents for decades. The two didn't shout, they didn't brawl, there was no chaos, just a deafening silence broken only by Brock's deep growl and Roman's cold, calculated glare, the kind of silence that says more than words ever could. These men have a history that defines eras. Legendary WrestleMania clashes, brutal SummerSlam wars, championship battles that shaped careers. But this was not about the past. This was about the future, and if these two titans are sitting down to talk, it means the WWE landscape is about to shift in ways nobody saw coming. Roman's empire has been crumbling in recent months, the once unstoppable bloodline fractured, his body broken, his dominance questioned, and yet this secret meeting suggests that the tribal chief is not just looking to rebuild what was lost, but to create something far bigger. Imagine the horror of Seth Rollins, who has been confidently staking his claim as the visionary and the standard-bearer of WWE, learning that not only does Roman have unfinished business with him, but that Brock Lesnar, his most feared rival, might be standing at Roman's side. It's no longer just about rivalries. It's about humiliation, power, and legacy, and the possibility of a Roman and Brock alliance is almost too terrifying to comprehend. On his own, Brock has always been a one-man wrecking crew, a beast who destroys everything in his path, but recent months have chipped away at his aura, especially after the humiliating SmackDown segment where R-Truth mocked him in the infamous Rip Pants fiasco that went viral and spawned countless memes, turning the once untouchable beast incarnate into a punchline. Maybe that sting still lingers. Maybe Brock has something to prove, and maybe joining forces with Roman, even if only for a short time, is his way of reminding the WWE Universe that he remains the most dangerous force alive. Now picture this. Seth Rollins in the middle of the ring, microphone in hand, delivering one of his signature promos about being the visionary, the standard bearer, the man who defines WWE, only for Roman to interrupt, limping his way down the ramp with that icy glare, promising in cryptic fashion that next week, I won't be alone. Before the screen briefly flashes to the unmistakable silhouette of Brock Lesnar waiting in the shadows. The roof would blow off the arena, social media would erupt into chaos, fans would debate endlessly on Twitter and Reddit, and WrestlePalooza would instantly become one of the most anticipated shows in modern history. And yet the debates rage on. Can Roman and Brock actually coexist? Some fans argue it's impossible, that Brock refuses to play second fiddle to anyone, and that the alliance would implode the moment Roman tried to control him, while others insist desperation makes strange bedfellows, and that together they could create the most unstoppable pairing WWE has ever seen. One fan summed it up perfectly, calling a Roman and Brock partnership the ultimate endgame, while another dismissed it as a ticking time bomb waiting to explode. But no matter the opinion, the fact is clear. WWE has struck storytelling gold, and the entire fanbase is now on edge waiting for the next twist. And looming over all of this is Paul Heyman, the master manipulator, the wise man who has guided both Roman and Brock to world championships, betrayed them at different times, and always shifted his loyalty wherever the power was greatest. Reports suggest Heyman was spotted near the supposed meeting, pacing the halls and making frantic phone calls, which begs the question, was he the architect of this secret conversation? Is he trying to engineer the ultimate destruction of Seth Rollins by bringing his two greatest clients together, or is he playing his usual dangerous game of setting up betrayal for his own survival? With Heyman involved, nothing is ever simple, and the possibility of his fingerprints being all over this potential alliance makes the intrigue even greater. Just imagine the impact if Roman and Brock suddenly stood side by side on live television. The entire roster would be shaken to its core. Stars like Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, LA Knight, and even groups like the Judgment Day would have to rethink everything overnight. Could alliances form just to counterbalance them? Could Seth Rollins be forced to do the unthinkable and call upon his old Shield brother Jon Moxley for backup? The ripple effects could fracture storylines, test friendships, and ignite new wars across both Raw and SmackDown. And that is the beauty of this moment. This meeting may have been brief. It may not even have been acknowledged on screen yet, but in WWE, sparks turn into wildfires, and this feels like the spark that could define the next era. So what do you think? Did Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar truly meet backstage at Raw? And if they did, is this the beginning of an unholy alliance that will change everything? Or is it the setup for one final war between two of WWE's greatest titans? Share your predictions in the comments, because the story is only getting bigger from here. This is Suplex Saga, the home for every shocking twist, secret meeting, and jaw-dropping storyline that keeps the WWE Universe buzzing. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell so you never miss an update, because when it comes to WWE, the truth is always stranger than fiction, and tonight might just be the beginning of the most unpredictable chapter we've ever seen. Tonight's Monday Night Raw kicked off with the same electricity that fans have come to expect week after week, but while the cameras focused on the action inside the arena, something entirely different and far more shocking was taking place behind the scenes. Backstage whispers quickly turned into breaking reports that Roman Reigns, still visibly weakened and in recovery after his brutal injuries, had entered the arena quietly through a side door, avoiding the fanfare of the usual grand entrance. The WWE Universe naturally assumed his arrival would connect to Seth Rollins and the ongoing Bloodline saga, yet what actually happened?